So here's my solution. So towelheads in India and Africa can't turn the electricity on and off and try to blackmail my mother for almost $1,000 credit card payment to turn the AC back on. This is what I'm talking about. I'm logged into TXU. Okay, it says right now we owe $98, and we done paid about $1,000 to these motherfuckers this month. And they've been calling us every week and trying to turn the power on or off. And we're forced to either give money to towelheads in Africa or India, or else, or credit card numbers, or give them up so they can fund terrorism, or go without air conditioning and lights. I have emergency power here, so we've got power all the time, obviously, for this fucking occasion. Right, they run. I can just run the house off wind and solar. I'm going to get a split phase inverter to run air conditioning too, so my mother, when she's staying here, she's not uncomfortable. Okay, assholes. We're not using that much. Let's go to see my usage. What do we use a month in kilowatt hours? Right now it's saying we're using 1,873 kilowatt hours to 1,854. So it's under 2,000 kilowatt hours a month. Okay. Here's the last time $337, right? My mother's on a fixed income. Of course, I'm working. I'm trying to keep everything paid. Well, she's sending the money out in checks. She don't trust them to get a credit card just like I don't. Because we've had it on auto pay, we've had different things, and they just take all our money out of our bank accounts to the tune of thousands of dollars. We've had that happen with these kind of things, so we don't like paying with card on anything. So let's go to billing and payment history. Here we go. Look. Okay, so here's what we've been paying. Here's $291. Okay, we pay that bill. Then we get another bill. Look what it says. We owe $657. What the fuck happened? Okay, so then we paid $200 to get it turned back on at the local grocery store. Oh, here's the check that we sent out that it took them almost 2 weeks to process the payment. So they've gotten, just right here, about $600. Okay? Then you go down here. Payment, 7/4. $291. This is what I'm talking about. So we paid this bill. Then bam, we get another bill. $451. $641. So, and I've been giving my mother the money, so I don't know, and then she's got evidence of sending the checks. This is what our bill is normally, right? But the last 6 months we're getting raped. And then they turn our electric off over the internet. You call their customer service number or any phone number for TXU. You get a computer that says you just got to hand them a credit card number. If you ask for a human, you get a telemarketing center in India or Africa. And you're forced to have to pay this. And then when you do, you just find out, oh, they just turn it on over the internet. Nobody actually has to come out. But yeah, you can see that we've been paying it, but we're starting a new week. Today's Sunday, so after this last payment, we expect a bill for way too much money than our usage, and they're going to probably turn it off again next week, or at least they think they are. We'll see if it gets a signal, so they can turn it on and off and demand fucking money over the phone. I'm going to show proof of TXU, our power cooperative, has been turning our lights on and off, charging us for it And then, of course, we call, wondering why our power's turned off. And we find out they can turn it on and off remotely over the internet, or their network. But we get call centers from India and Africa. I asked specifically both times what country they were located in, and they wanted an exorbitant amount of money. The last time, almost $700 to turn our electric back on. We didn't owe that much. We had just made a payment. And we go to HEB later that evening, because my elderly mother was out without air conditioning, to find out that all we had to do is pay $150 and they turned it back on and the payment was received. So I took screenshots of where I found. Let me see if I want to see if I can find them on. They're in here somewhere. Let's see, there's that one. That was a TXU document. Let me see if it's in here, where it is. And so they're charging us a $25 late fee plus what I don't know how much in a fee to turn our power off remotely. And then when we call, they want credit card numbers, so it's all they care about. So be forewarned. Let's see. It's in here. I'm sure it's probably something to do with TXU on the label. Here it is. Overbilling us. TXU overbilling us. So this last time they said, oh, you owe $657. Oh, and there's the disconnection schedule we're on, where they just turn it on and off and try to extort money from us. Of course, nobody's actually physically coming here and turning anything off. We found that they just turn it on and off over the internet. So I'm going to show you another. I'm going to do another video about my solution for that, and it doesn't violate FCC regulations by getting a jammer that jams 300 to 400 megahertz, so they can't remotely turn me off to extort money out of me over in India or Africa. And I don't trust them to give a credit card either. I told them that over the phone the other day when I was trying to get my mother's power turned back on while I was at work. And I had other employees sitting there listening to it, and they could not believe it. They were shocked. So, yeah.